There's a moment in every woman's life when she starts to wonder, what do men really see when they look at me? Not just how you look, but how you carry yourself, how you make them feel, and the kind of energy that surrounds you. And the truth is, men see more than you think. They notice your tone, your silence, your confidence, or your lack of it. They can feel when you respect yourself, and they can also sense when you're desperately trying to be liked. But here's the thing. Most women have been told the complete wrong way to get a man's attention. They've been taught to overgive to prove their worth, to show how different they are, when in reality, that's exactly what makes them invisible. Because the moment you start chasing respect, you lose it. Men don't respect women who try to earn it. They respect women who already have it. Today, I'm going to reveal the 5 secrets that completely change the way men see you. 5 subtle but powerful shifts that make a man stop, think, and realize, she's not like the others. These aren't tricks, and they're not about manipulation. They're deep psychological changes that affect how you move, how you speak, and how you react. Because attraction is not built on words, it's built on perception. When a man senses these things in you, his entire approach changes. He starts to speak differently, to look at you longer, to think twice before crossing a line. Because suddenly he doesn't see someone trying to please him. He sees a woman he doesn't want to lose. It doesn't matter if you've been ignored, disrespected, or taken for granted before. What matters is what you project from now on. Men can't explain it logically, but they feel it. It's the same reason some women can walk into a room and instantly command attention, while others are overlooked, even if they're prettier, smarter, or kinder. And that's what this video is about. If you apply these 5 secrets, not tomorrow, not next week, but starting today, you'll notice how the energy between you and any man begins to shift. You'll stop wondering what he's thinking and start watching how he reacts to your new presence. Because when you understand male psychology, you realize respect and desire are not random. They're triggered. They're the result of a certain mindset that very few women ever master. But those who do, they never chase love again. Love starts chasing them. So stay with me until the very end of this video, because once you understand these 5 secrets, you'll see men differently. And more importantly, they'll see you differently too. They'll start to treat you in a way you always deserved but never received before. And you'll finally understand why confidence, mystery, and emotional control aren't just attractive, they're magnetic. Let's begin. A few years ago, I had a friend named Claire. She was beautiful, intelligent, and kind. The kind of woman who always gave everything in a relationship. If her boyfriend needed something, she was there. If he was upset, she comforted him. If he pulled away, she chased him even harder, thinking that love meant proving how loyal she could be. But here's what happened. The more she gave, the less he respected her. He stopped calling, stopped making plans, stopped trying. He knew she'd always be there, no matter how little he gave back. And the moment a man realizes that, something changes inside him. His respect starts to fade. I remember the night Claire called me crying. He says he needs space, she said, but I've done everything for him. How can he just walk away like that? And I told her something that she didn't want to hear at the time. It's not about what you've done for him. It's about how he feels around you. You can't make a man stay by giving him more. You make him stay by being someone he doesn't want to lose. Because the truth is, respect and attraction aren't about effort. They're about energy. When a woman has self-respect, her energy tells a man, you can be here, but you can't play with me. It's quiet confidence. It's the calm that comes from knowing you don't need to chase what's meant for you. After that conversation, Claire decided to change. She didn't try to win him back. She stopped calling, stopped explaining, and focused on herself. She started dressing the way she liked, saying what she really thought, and walking away from things that didn't feel right. At first, he didn't notice, but after a few weeks, everything changed. He began to text her again, ask about her day, try to meet up, and for the first time, she didn't drop everything to reply. She had finally understood one of the deepest truths about men. A man only values what he believes he can lose. When you act like you're an option, he treats you like one. But when you act like you're the prize, he adjusts his entire behavior. And that's not arrogance, it's alignment. Because every man, deep down, respects the woman who respects herself. Not the loud kind of respect that demands attention, but the silent kind that says, I know who I am. I don't need to convince you. And that's when everything about how he sees you begins to shift. Your silence becomes powerful. Your boundaries become magnetic. Your absence becomes noticeable. Claire didn't change her looks, her voice, or her style. She changed her energy, and that was enough to rewrite the entire story. From that point on, I started to notice this pattern in almost every woman I knew. The ones who were constantly anxious, overthinking, and giving too much. They were the ones always wondering why men lost interest. But the ones who stood firm in their worth, they didn't have to chase. Men chased them. And that's what these 5 secrets are about. They're not new tricks to manipulate anyone. They're timeless psychological truths that make men respect, desire, and commit to a woman naturally. These are the same principles that turn just another woman into the woman he can't forget. And once you understand them, you'll never play small again just to be liked. You'll walk with the quiet confidence of someone who knows her value, and that changes everything. The first secret is emotional control. Nothing confuses and attracts a man more than a woman who stays calm when most people would lose control. When a man tries to provoke a reaction through distance, silence, or mixed signals, and you don't give him that emotional chaos, you show power, not through words but through self-mastery. Most women respond immediately. They send long messages, they demand explanations, they react emotionally. But the woman who pauses, who takes a breath instead of exploding, she stands out. Because men are wired to test boundaries. It's not always intentional, it's instinctual. They want to know, can I shake her? And when they can't, something in them shifts. They feel respect, because you've proven that your emotions are yours, not his to control. So the next time a man pulls away or goes silent, remember this. His behavior doesn't define your worth, your reaction does. The second secret is selective attention. Men are hunters by nature. They crave challenge, effort, and the reward of being chosen. But if you give your full attention too quickly, he stops trying, because what's freely available doesn't feel valuable. When you become selective, when not every text gets an instant reply, not every invitation gets a yes, and not every word he says moves you, you trigger something ancient in his mind. It's the same instinct that drives him to pursue goals, careers, or status. He wants to earn it. A man needs to feel that being close to you is a privilege, not a guarantee. And selective attention communicates exactly that. It says, without words, you're not the center of my world, I am. The third secret is mystery through silence. There's a kind of silence that doesn't feel cold, it feels magnetic. It's the silence that makes a man think about what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and whether he's done enough to deserve your energy again. You don't need to overshare. You don't need to explain every detail. In fact, when you hold something back, when you let him wonder, you activate curiosity, and curiosity is one of the most powerful emotional hooks that exist, because men are drawn not to what they fully understand, but to what they can't figure out. When he knows everything about you, there's nothing left to explore. But when he feels like there's depth, like there's something sacred he hasn't yet discovered, that's when he becomes emotionally invested. The fourth secret is feminine self-respect. Not the kind that says, I don't need a man, but the kind that says, I choose carefully. Self-respect is when you don't argue for your value, you embody it. It's in how you walk away when you're not being valued. It's in how you smile instead of begging for closure. It's in how you say no without apologizing for it. Men don't admire women who try to convince them they're valuable. They admire women who live as if they already know it. Because deep down, every man wants a woman who respects herself enough to demand respect from him. And here's what's fascinating. When you have self-respect, men automatically feel that they have to rise to your level. They talk differently, they act differently, they become different. Because your standards communicate silently. This is what I accept, and this is what I don't. And finally, the fifth secret, the one that ties everything together, is emotional detachment from outcome. This doesn't mean being cold or indifferent. It means you enjoy a connection without trying to control where it goes. You let things unfold, and if they don't, you walk away with peace instead of panic. Men can feel when a woman is attached to the outcome. They can sense when her energy depends on what he does next. And that kills attraction instantly. But when you're detached, when your happiness doesn't rely on his approval, he feels something rare. He feels freedom. And paradoxically, that freedom makes him chase you harder, because you become the woman who could love him but doesn't need him. You could stay, but you're strong enough to leave. You could care, but you'll never beg. And that combination, warmth with strength, connection without dependency, is what every man respects and craves at the same time. These 5 secrets, emotional control, selective attention, mystery through silence, feminine self-respect, and emotional detachment, are what separate a woman who's forgotten from a woman who's unforgettable. Because once you master them, something powerful happens. You stop being the woman who reacts to men, and you become the woman who influences them. And influence is where respect, attraction, and devotion truly begin. When you ignore these 5 secrets, the consequences don't come all at once. They come slowly, quietly, and painfully. At first, everything seems fine. You meet someone, you talk for hours, you feel the spark, and you think this time it's different. But then, it begins. He starts replying a little slower. He seems distracted, distant, and you feel that familiar anxiety in your chest, the same one you've felt before. You start wondering what you did wrong. You replay conversations in your mind. You text first, trying to fix it, trying to show how much you care. But here's the truth. Every time you do that, you reinforce the exact pattern that makes him lose respect. Because instead of standing firm in your worth, you're showing him that he defines it. The moment you react to his distance with panic instead of peace, you tell him, "You have power over me." And men can feel that. The woman who loses control, who gives unlimited attention, who over-explains, who begs to be understood, she becomes predictable. And predictability kills mystery. Once a man stops being curious, he stops investing. When you give too much too soon, you teach him that your love is easy to earn. When you always explain yourself, you teach him that he doesn't need to listen, because you'll do the emotional work for both of you. When you can't walk away, you teach him that he never really has to change. And here's the part that hurts the most. He doesn't even mean to stop respecting you. It just happens. Because men don't consciously decide to value or devalue a woman. It's emotional, instinctive, psychological. Respect fades the moment he senses that you've lost respect for yourself. That's why you have to act before that happens. You can't wait until he starts pulling away. You can't wait until he stops trying. You have to set the tone from the very beginning. From the first message, the first date, the first disagreement. Your energy should say, "I'm calm, I'm confident, and I'm not afraid to lose anyone who can't value me." When you live like that, everything changes. You no longer attract men who play games because you don't participate in them. You stop falling for mixed signals because you've trained yourself to value clarity. And you stop chasing love because love naturally flows towards self-respect. But when you ignore these principles, you keep repeating the same emotional loop. You attract men who need validation instead of men who offer stability. You confuse intensity with intimacy. You call chaos chemistry. And over time, it breaks you. It drains your energy, kills your confidence, and leaves you with the false belief that good men don't exist. But they do. They just don't connect with women who don't respect themselves. Because to a healthy man, a woman without boundaries feels like a storm. At first, it's exciting, but soon it becomes exhausting. And he pulls away, not because he's cruel, but because he can't find peace in that space. But when you embody calm strength, the kind that doesn't chase, doesn't explain, doesn't beg, he feels safe. He knows you're not going to explode, manipulate, or lose yourself in him. And that's when he stays. So ask yourself, how many times have you given your peace to someone who didn't deserve it? How many times have you explained yourself to a man who had already made up his mind? How many times have you tried to convince someone to see your value, when all along you just needed to see it yourself? If you keep repeating those mistakes, you don't just lose men, you lose yourself. But the moment you stop, everything starts shifting back in your favor. Because when you stop chasing, you create space. And in that space, the wrong ones disappear, and the right one finally has room to appear. Here's what I want you to remember. You don't need to be louder, prettier, or more available to be respected. You just need to be more intentional. Men don't fall for the woman who tries the hardest. They fall for the woman who carries herself with quiet confidence, the one who knows when to speak and when to stay silent, when to give and when to walk away. The woman who has mastered emotional control, selective attention, mystery, self-respect, and emotional detachment doesn't chase anyone. She attracts naturally, because real power doesn't shout. It whispers. It's in your posture, your tone, your stillness. It's in the way you don't rush to reply. It's in the way you smile instead of explaining. It's in the way you leave the table when respect is no longer being served. That's the kind of woman men never forget. She's not playing games. She's not performing. She's simply being who she is, grounded, peaceful, confident, and unpredictable in the best way. And here's the truth. When you become that woman, You won't have to wonder if a man respects you. You'll see it. You'll feel it in how he looks at you, how he speaks to you, how he treats you. He'll slow down when he's with you. He'll listen more carefully. He'll choose his words differently. Because respect isn't something you ask for. It's something you inspire. And the beauty of all this is that it starts with small changes. You don't have to change who you are. You just have to unlearn the behaviors that make you forget your worth. Stop over-explaining. Stop over-giving. Stop letting your emotions lead every decision. Start choosing peace over panic. Start practicing silence when words won't change anything. Start believing that losing someone who doesn't value you is not a loss. It's freedom. Once you start living this way, you'll notice the difference instantly. Men will approach you differently. People will treat you differently. And most importantly, you will feel different. Calmer, stronger, more centered. Because when a woman truly understands her worth, she doesn't fight for attention. She commands it. She doesn't chase love. She becomes love. And that's the biggest secret of all. If this message spoke to your heart, don't let it fade. Save this video, share it with another woman who needs to hear it, and remind yourself, every time you choose peace over pressure, you become harder to replace. Every time you stay calm instead of chasing, you increase your value. And every time you act from self-respect, you rewrite the way every man will see you from this moment on.